Hello guys, this video is about my collection log, progress of this year, and also I guess the goals for next year, and just general a bit of a ramble of what I've done in this game this year and also where some clogs are heading towards and what's next. I recently watched my video from last year, which was a very cringe watch and interesting though for sure. Also, where my mindset was with this game around that time. And I've had a few goals for this year, which are all soft goals because goals can be very destructive if you're a bit too ambitious or just lose the interest of the game in general. But my goals for this year were 1300 collection logs, which I very easily achieved, thankfully. Very happy with that progress. Another goal was 30 pets, or 30 total pets, I should say, which I also achieved. I'm at 39 pets right now. And I've had somewhat of a general goal, which was um, stacking 500 master clues, which I also did achieve this year, which wasn't like a goal for this year specifically, but starting Callisto and all that definitely helped. And I'm sure most of the people watching know about my 500 Master Casket stream or video. Also, big thanks to everyone that was there again. It just can repeat it. It was probably one of my favorite days in this game for sure. Anyway, enough of that stuff. Um, I want to talk about the bosses or, well, generally all the clocks that I've worked on this year, that I finished this year. I'm gonna skip over the ones that I've already achieved because there's just absolutely nothing to add there. So we can just start right off with Abyss Sire. Pretty sure I was around 13 or 1400 KC at the start of this year. And it was not really a fun time. I remember I wanted to do like 50 KC every task, which did work out to like 3000 KC, but when you want to complete stuff, you actually got to do it, and you can't just, well, procrastinate forever. So I had to actually do full task, and I also ended up using Bracelet of Slaughter to extend those tasks, which, yeah, was pretty draining. I didn't go super dry, basically 2 times raid, obviously missing a few unsides there, a bit unlucky. But yeah, was my I think it was my last Slayer pet, but then they added Araxo like right away, I think at the same week, so that basically got nulled. Anyway, pretty happy about this one. This is probably one of the most stressful clogs or bosses in this game. Same with Hydra. Totally forgot I greenlocked this one as well this year because it was in January, and my last item missing was the Hydra leather, which I finally got at I think 3081 KC or something, which means I'm basically 6 times rate on this item, which is just wow, insane. Yeah, really happy to get this one done. This is such a snooze boss. Not a fan of this at all. Amoxicillin was also just recently added, or well, it's been a few months at this point, but I've just recently started it. I actually got the pet a few days ago. Um, I'm not sure why we need this boss in the game, but that's a discussion for another time. I did the 1+2 method, and it was super quick. Took honestly, I think I got it in like a week time, like just doing a few hundred every day or something. Yeah. Then again, I don't know where this is in the game, but it's at least really fast. And yeah, Araxa was also added this year. I got super lucky on this one. Yeah, it's a very fun boss actually. It's probably the best content they released this year besides Colosseum, I would say. Um, yeah, super spooned on basically every item. I think I got the pet at like 350 KC and then got another one. And then the last item was the jar at around 1400 something. Yeah, really short grind for me. I don't know about the destroy mechanic. I don't know if that's needed in this game. It's definitely a scary direction we're heading. But okay. Either way, really fun boss. 1+1. Spec every kill with the Din's tech. Super great pet court guide out there. Well, Barrows is not something that I've done this year. Okay, service is also something that I completed this year. I think I did about 3000 KC this year. I remember still needing the jar, which I think I got like 4000 something KC, and then the pet at 6.4K something. This is definitely probably my favorite boss to grind. I think around that time I had my second alt ready and I just did 1+2 and it's just beautiful content. Having spec basically every other kill and never having to bank because one of you all can just bank for you. Super, super enjoyable. Big fan of this boss and task. Um, as I said again, I'm skipping over a few bosses that I've already completed or yeah. Ciliana, I talked about this last year. I'm a bit scared or well, I'm a bit worried about God Wars Dungeon because these are one of those grinds that are gonna can definitely take a while. I've gotten a few alts ready now, so whenever I start the God Wars Dungeon grind, um, that should be decent enough, I suppose. I think I got this crossbow this year. I did a few KC for a bingo very early this year, but other than that, I haven't touched this one at all. Corporeal Beast, I did, I think 100 KC this year. This is also one of those things that I know Cloggers always meme, waiters always win and whatnot, but this is definitely one that everyone should probably wait because knowing Jagex, they will just release Fusani's Corporal Beast or something like that. Slap a new item on it and then make it like 3 times faster to complete. So I'm definitely coping very hard on this content because obviously I'm not gonna do 1+1 or 1+2 because that's not really a viable option. So this will definitely be one of the last bosses and pets I'll do. Either it's gonna get boosted or it's gonna be devalued. Either way, I'm not worried about this one anytime soon. Crazy Archaeologist is also one that I completed this year. My last item that I needed was the Fedora. So about 5 times rate for this guy. It's absolutely silly. DKs is also something that I haven't really touched. I remember earlier this year, I did a lot of it during or whilst I was doing Slayer, but then I just stopped because I didn't feel like gearing up for like 2 hours of DKs and then bringing all my alts and whatnot. So this is also something that I'll do soon-ish. I'm kind of coping for stackable clues. Then again, stackable clues will probably completely ruin the clue method that we got right now with the 1 hour drop time. So not sure about this one. This will definitely be tackled before the God Wars dungeon grind though. Um, Next up we have the Five Caves. Pretty spoon on this one. Um, Very enjoyable grind, I would say. I had a lot of fun trying to get faster and faster. Um, I would probably get very bored if I had to do like twice this amount or even 3 times. So pretty happy it didn't take too long. Fortis Colosseum was probably the biggest update of this year. Have struggled quite a bit with this content. I'm not really great at it at all, so I'm happy that I spooned the pet. My idea was I was stacking all my quivers until I got the Ralos, and then I traded all my quivers in, which I actually ended up doing, and I got the pet from a quiver pool. So yeah, this is probably the longest content as well that they added this year. So shaving a lot of hours off this content. Gauntlet also amazing spoons, probably the one that the most grateful for because I'm not really a big fan of this content, and I know I'm super spoon, I have four enhanced and whatnot, but this content just is really, really bad. Like not bad, but it's just not for me. And one death, and I legit am done with that content. So super happy to get this one like very early. General Grotto, I think I've done like 20 KC this year. As I said before with Ciliana, Gobo's Dungeon will be tackled soon enough. My ults are ready, but definitely want to be in a grindy mood when I start God Wars Dungeon because, like, people like that Wilson or, well, for example, that Wilson, he just sticks to one boss until he's done, which is definitely something I want to do for God Wars Dungeon as well because leaving the alts and re-gearing and re-KCing, that's not really efficient to do for God Wars Dungeon. Giant Mole, super fun, super fast, grind. I think we had a boss of the week in my old clan, and I just did like almost 4,000 KC in a week with 1 plus 2. Was really fast. Yeah, nothing much to add there. Grotesque Guardians, also one of those grinds that I'm so grateful to get somewhat spooned. The first pet I got at 3,600 KC, and then I got the jar like at 3.9k. So super humble, definitely. Super happy about that one. Absolutely horrible grind if you go dry here, and there's a lot of people that go dry there, especially the jar. Here is also one of those bosses that I've just recently completed, like 2 weeks ago, maybe. I think I did 992 solo KC, and the rest was a few masses, obviously, at the release day, and some trios to five mans. I did the 1 plus 3 method, which was okay. It's just not really super exciting boss to gear up for, but hours wise, it's not the worst to go a bit dry on. I think I'm a bit over 2.5x rate for this one, so unlucky, but not the worst one. Kalfa Queen, I think I did about 500 KC this year. This is also one of those bosses that I'm very, very hard coping that either it's gonna get even more devalued than it already is with the shadow, or I know there's a few new methods or interesting methods with Radix. I think Minty from Petcode figured that out. There's like a few things that are definitely doable for this boss, and maybe I'm gonna end up getting the diary, the desert diary on my alt, so I can do 1+3 down the line. But it's definitely one that I'm not looking forward to, so I'm pushing this one far out the way. Maybe I even boost it, but I'm not sure. Kriara, I also did quite a few Kriara early on this year when I was still doing those on task, but when I started Kona, I kind of stopped the Kriara task, or I just disabled the AVNCs because I really couldn't be bothered to gear up like every other time. As I said before, I just want to somewhat hard grind the God Wars Dungeon section whenever that is, because re-gearing is and getting the KC is not really macro efficient. Leviathan, I barely touched. I think I did about 60 KC. The Desert Treasure 2 bosses I really want to do soon-ish. I'm currently doing Sora. Actually wanted to do Whisperer after the Valamore stuff was done, but Sora is a pretty good moneymaker right now. So I kinda want to stick to that for a bit, at least till I get the pet. And then I'm gonna start doing Leviathan and Whisper and so on. Moons of Peril, not really much to say. I don't think that one takes too long. Dew Protection is also a very potentially scary thing they're adding. But yeah, next also barely done this content this year. Also for a bingo early on this year and a boss of the week, but not really looking forward to this one. Maybe I'll start it next year, but I said that the same stuff last year, so it also depends on what releases this year. Definitely want to do this before the God Wars dungeon bosses, though, just so I have a few AQ shards for AQ keys at least. Nightmare, I've done this one somewhat after they buffed the drop rates, but long term, I don't think I'm gonna do this right now because obviously this is one of those logs that take forever. So this is definitely like an end game thing. I already got the pet, so there's no need for me to rush this one right now. Muspa also one that I've got somewhat recently, maybe a few months ago now. I'm not I don't hate this content. It's alright. It's not the most fun. I'm very glad that I didn't go like Coxy dry. Absolutely insane. Yeah, fairly spooned on this one. But then again, I did mind it. The clues were decent. Ascarius also released this year. It's actually crazy how much mid-game content they released this year. They started with Scurious and ended with a Moxie. It's actually insane how much dumb shit they add to this game nowadays. Holy. Um, yeah, I mean, it's curious. Like, there's not really much to say about this guy. Wasted a lot of money on blood shards and scythe charges. That's really about it. Scotizo, I got the pet this year and the jar. Got the pet at around 180 KC and then the jar a bit over 200, I would say. I've gotten a lot of totems from the Kona grind and just generally the imbued heart grind. So this was a very free collection arc this year. Temperos, actually, funnily enough, I have completed 0 KC on this content this year. I generally don't know when I'll start this. Um, I think I want to do Winter Dot before this one though, so yeah, I don't know. Wardorf is also, as I said before, Desert Treasure 2 I have barely touched this year at all. I think I did a few Slayer tasks when I got a boss task. That was really about it. Looking forward to this. I mean, it's a fun boss. So yeah, definitely after Whisper though. Warcav also barely touched this one. I got the 2 Draconic Visages from Eddie Dragons, and I got spooned on this jar. So yeah, that's at least one good item. Other than that, not really a fan of this content, so not sure when I'll tackle this. Definitely after Desert Treasure 2 though. Whisperer, I did a bit of this year. I think maybe like 200 to 300 KC. Definitely want to do this very soon though. I would have, as I said before, I wanted to do this now, but Sora is currently pretty good money, so this is happening after Sora pet. Wintertot, mm, yeah, nothing to say here. I think I've done 6 KC. I don't know, randomly. I don't know why I did that. They changed it also this year with the health meter or warmth meter or whatever. So definitely interested to see how this one is nowadays with the solo method, but also no real idea when I will tackle this one. Volcano, wow, that was actually one of those grinds that, as I said before, every content gets devalued. We all know it. Waiters always win. That's why I always preach bad content has no priority right now. Because Volcano is probably one of the most devalued minigames now. I remember when they announced that stuff, I was actually grinding Mole, and after I got the Mole pet, the Coxy CC was doing Hopcano, so I started as well, and I just full send for 1 week. I got super spooned on the pet, and then I got somewhat dry on the shard. So yeah, I mean now it's pretty dead again. I think you have to do masses. So Hopcano, shout out to all the cloggers and pet hunters that were there. That was such a fun time just seeing the same degenerates doing that content for 10 hours a day. Yeah, and yeah, so as I mentioned before, this is what I'm doing right now. I hope I can get the pet, maybe a mutagen if I'm lucky, but I'm definitely not gonna full grind this because this is gonna take forever. This is such an end game clog as well. So whenever I get the pet, I will take a break from this content and move on to other pets. Okay, raids. A lot of things happened here this year. Definitely one of the biggest sections that I worked on this year as well. I think I've done about 300 CMs this year. Did a lot early on, and then just recently started with some clanmates. Shout out Log Chasers, by the way. Great clan for Eric Logger. Feel free to join. Um, I finally got a mega rare that I'm not dry on, which is the Twisted Bow. Super happy about this one. Was very surprising to get this pretty early in this grind, so that's one of the items that I won't have to worry about later on. Also got the dust very recently, so pretty happy about this, even though that's expected whenever or until 2k CM, so not something to worry about. And I finished 3 out of 3 kits, which was nice. Um, I'm doing this content somewhat right now. I don't want to hard grind it though. I think I'm definitely gonna take a break at around 700 to 800 KC because I'm not really a fan of rushing another raid. I just recently completed tier way and top this year, so I don't want to get this out of the way like ASAP. It's also nice having raid content later on just to add some diversity to all this solo stuff. Well, moving on to top. This was screen locked this year. My last item that I needed was the scythe. That's why I have a bit more than 2000 KC. Definitely a bittersweet ending as well. Mm, Definitely also the best content. I already said that last year, but this is the best content in the game. And I would even argue that 5-man hard mode top with a team that you know is probably peak team content. Obviously, I haven't done BA, and I know a lot of people will say BA is better and whatnot, but absolutely amazing content overall. Got pretty unlucky on the scythe, so yeah, happy to complete this one. That's a really big chapter. I don't know if I'll return to this raid. It- I don't know. I'm kind of done with that content. I'm definitely leaving it open though because yeah, it's just amazing. I'm definitely not ruining this 1k KC though. That's not happening. Hard mode is done. Done enough of that. Um, Theater of Blood. Sorry, Tombs of a Mascot. Also, this was inevitable. I think I needed 70 KC to finish this one this year. I did actually end up receiving a second staff about like 40 or 30 KC before the big 2K, so definitely somewhat of a relief that I at least got two staffs at the end. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any more of this content at all. It was a fun grind overall. Definitely enjoyed it. I'm not a hater. It's definitely a fun raid, and yeah, pretty happy about this one. Okay, clues. Beginner clues I've already had green logs, so nothing to talk about there. Easy clues. This one was actually one that I was full grinding recently. Unfortunately, when leaks released, there was a very short period where every clue on the floor was just, or not just clues, but also any items on the floor that were bound to you were just disappearing from the floor. And I mean, a few people know about the UAMs losing all their banks or all their dev paths or whatever. And I happened to lose about 60 easy clues and my triple stepper master and a few other master clues on the floor. So since that, I just straight up stopped doing easy clues. I really wanted to finish this one this year, but I was very pissed. I don't care about the 60 easy clues, but losing a triple stepper that you've had for months as well is very, very tilting, especially when it's out of your control. Anyway, this one definitely is getting tackled next year. I really wanted to finish this year, but well, it happened. So whenever I get a new good triple stepper, which will be whenever I open my elites or hard clues, I will restart the easy clue grind. I really want to get this one done. Pretty spooned here. Got a lot of those monk ropes this year. Just absolutely insane. Just missing this one cape and then I'll be done. Yeah, pretty fast grind overall, I would say. Medium clues also completed this year. Pretty spooned, I would say. Yeah, nothing crazy to say. Last piece was some elegant piece. Yeah. Hard clues. I've done about 1800 hard clues this year. A lot of them, or well, mostly the clues were from the Slayer grind, Kona, Scotizo, some jellies. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy to say about this one. I need two plate bodies and two shields. It definitely slowed down after I finished the Slayer section because hard clue swords is not really something you get passively, or well, at least not a lot besides Slayer, obviously. Sometimes I AFK jellies when I'm like super bored or I don't want to play the game. Um, but yeah, this is no rush. Like this is end game stuff. Like at the end of the day, I'm a main. I can just buy Implinks and that's it. Elite clues, done a lot of elite clues this year. I think I've done almost 600 elite clues this year. I have 5 out of 10 tux pieces now, which is pretty good at this KC amount. No dupes as well. Obviously, due to Callisto and all that stuff, I've gotten a lot of those. Um, it's somewhat slowed down. Obviously, I'm not doing Callisto anymore. That content is dead, for me at least. We get a lot of clues though from other content, so that's helpful. Yeah, pretty happy about this log so far. Master clues, as I said before, or at the very start, I reached my goal of 500 master clues, and most of the people watching this probably watched that one as well. I got, I think, 2 mummy pieces and the Anku, a lot of God Wars kits. It was an amazing opening, even though I got somewhat unlucky on the rare section. And also I'm stacking another 500, which is work in progress. As I said before, it's definitely gonna be much slower than what I've achieved this year because I'm not doing any more Callisto. That um, that content is over for me. But yeah, I'm in no rush. Clues are clues. Clues is end game. Like obviously you do your passive clues, but like full grinding is not anything I want to do right now. And then yeah, for the rare section, not really anything particularly crazy here. Got a few gilded this year, no third age. Um, yeah, don't have any of those either, so somewhat unlucky, but we'll get there. Nothing to worry about now. Minigames. Definitely did a lot here this year. Barbarian Assault. I didn't touch at all though. Um, I finished Castle Wars. This year I think I only needed one or two pieces. Was a super fun, well, fun is the wrong word, but it was a super chill zero time grind. Really nothing I want to say here. That content basically is just you start and then you go AFK. Mm, Guardians of the Rift. Oh my god, this content was very wow, interesting. The last item I needed was the lost bag, as most of you guys know, and holy fuck, I was losing it. I think I did like 10 hours that day or like 8 hours when I got that one on a Sunday, and I was just so relieved to get that one done. It's actually crazy that they add stuff like that to they add an RNG drop to an already RNG drop, which is just insane to me. Yeah, I'm so happy to get this out the way though. Hello Sepulchre, also one of two runs I've done this year. 3 times rate for the ring. Nothing crazy to say. Sepulchre is overall great content, just unlucky on this one. Last Man Standing, I think I've done 100 wins, around 100 wins this year. Well, not really much is gonna change here. I just need 2 capes. I really need to start doing more of this. I really need to take advantage of the bots. I just don't like this content at all. It's just so stupid. Magic Training Arena also done this year. This was also the log that got me to 1400 collection logs, which was somewhat nice. Oh yeah, they also updated this content, um, the QL stuff where some of the rooms got easier or whatnot. As I said before, trash content has zero priority because stuff like this will get updated, which this one did. So yeah, happy that I waited, I guess. Mixology, yeah, not really much to say about this one. Pretty fast-ish, especially now. I think it's super fast. Yeah, not amazing content, but yeah, it's just very forgettable for a main. You just do it for 20 hours or whatnot, and then you move on. So was this is actually something that I just started the other day. I started the 1+1 method. I just wanted to try it out, and holy fuck, it's so brain dead and boring, and I don't know what I want to think about that. This is this is actually the prime example of content that does not need a pet. Like this is the prime example of a content that doesn't need a pet. I think I'm gonna do a few like games every day with my alt and then just call it because yeah, I'm not gonna full grind this one. And yeah, volcanic mine. I've been doing these here and there, maybe like a few runs, a few hours per week. I think I'm around 95 ore packs, so getting to the rate very shortly here. And yeah, I don't know. This is also a very stupid collection log. Definitely top 5 with lost bag. Yeah, not really much to say. I'm just doing the solo point gap method. It's really my brain dead clock when I just want to watch a video and click a few times. That's it. The other section, a lot of things happened here this year, one of them being aerial fishing. I've got pretty lucky with 5 golden tenches. This grind was pretty chill. It's obviously a long grind, and I see why people dislike it because it's that long, but I feel like grinds like these don't have to be, like, full grinded unless you just want to be annoyed. I just usually did this when I was waiting for raids teams or when I was scouting video raids for top. Just gear up and, like, teleport out there whilst I was scouting for teams, so yeah, not bad at all. It's really just click, click, click simulator, but it's not that deep, just long. Colossal Worm, Agility, yeah, not really much to say. It's just 10 hours collection log for 8 clocks. Just click green boxes and you're done. Mm, oh my god, this one was also one of my worst clogs this year, or I guess also worst lucks. This monkey tail took me this amount of KC, which is a bit over 6 times right. Yeah, holy fuck, I was tired of that place after a while. Really, really happy to get this one out the way. I didn't think it was gonna take that long, but it's gotta happen somewhere. The Hunter's Guild, super happy to get this one spooned. I think I got it like 1 week or 2 weeks after they released Volamore, which is very fucking lucky. I didn't even get to experience all the changes and metas with blocking task and cabbage skipping and all those buzzwords. I yeah, I just did that very early on and got pretty spooned. So happy about that. My notes I also completed this year. I did complete it after I did Mithril Dragons though. I got somewhat spooned on the Dragon Full Helm, so I had a few pages left, and then I did the Hob method. And also, shame on everyone that's doing this before Dragon Full Helm. Macro efficiency is good. Skilling pets, I don't think I've got anything this year now. I'm really lacking on skilling pets. I've been doing Heron passively. I think I have a bit over 100,000 Karambans fish now. So that's slowly getting worked on. Yeah, Chin Pet and generally like Squirrel and whatnot. I don't know when I'll tackle that. Rocky's pretty fast now. Yeah, the Slayer section. This was one of those grinds that took quite a long time. That's basically what I did for most of the summer. The Imbued Heart took me 78 mil Slayer XP and 1080 superiors. That was absolutely horrible. The Wyvern Visage I got pretty early on this year. I think maybe May or April. Was training alts. Took me about 20,000 KC. Yeah, Draconic Visage from Addy Dragons, as I mentioned before. I think, yeah, the Dusk pieces took me 3,300 KC. Obviously, also after they added Brimstones to Superiors, which was absolutely brilliant, and I'm so happy that I waited for that. Waiters always win, guys, especially when the content is bad. Yeah, other than that, nothing crazy about this. Really happy though to get this one out the way. No more Slayer. Tormented Demons was also, I think, added in summer or something. Nothing really to say about this. I think this is basically on raid. Pretty fun grind, I guess. Just did those on Slayer task. This horror. Okay, this is probably the most Waiters win content out there since they added the goading potions. I remember like in the clan after they released those potions, everyone was just hard grinding these. Like everyone was just AFKing these. Super chill grind now, like super fast. Or well, not fast particularly, but just zero input. You just click the potion and you're AFK for 6 or 8 minutes. This match staff was obviously the last one. I kind of did it actively to some extent, but I also AFK'd a lot of it. Yeah, pretty pretty chill clock section now. And the last one, but definitely not least, is the miscellaneous tab, which I remember Dragon Warhammer I got also this year, and that was pre-buff because they also buffed the drop rate for this one, but I got it before that at around 6,000 KC. As I said before, Dragon Fulham also this year super lucky, 96 shoot bones it says. Pretty happy about this one. And even better, I completed both metal or dragon metal dragon pieces. Um yeah, that was just amazing. That saves so much hours and yeah, I think that was basically the last one I needed here. Obviously, the very last item was the broken zombie helmet and the trident. Yeah, other than that, super happy to have this one done. This can be very bad if you go dry on a particular stuff here. And that basically wraps up my collection log for this year. I kind of mentioned on which items I want to go for or which clogs I want to go for. Mostly, I want to focus on pets generally, finish Desert Treasure 2, um, start obviously now with Sora, and then at the end, I really want to, or I really should get to God Wars Dungeon. It really all depends on what they add this year as well to the game. I think the real one, or since you calculated that this year only about 400 EHC efficient hours clock were added to the game, so really low. So there was a lot of time to catch up on a lot of slots that I had open. Yeah, other than that, for goals, I don't know. I don't like setting like hard goals because, as I said before, hard goals just get people to burn out when they don't achieve it, or I don't know. I just want to play the game and learn new interesting pet methods and not try to super min max everything, even though I've gotten worse with that for sure. But yeah, we all got to remember burnout is the biggest time loss in this game. If you burn out for a couple of weeks or even a month, all the efficiency that you had before doesn't matter at all. Um, I want to see if I can get 50 pets next year, even though that can be quite challenging because the pets that I have left are not fun at all, in my opinion. Some of them can take quite a while, but if they add like another 5 Billy Bob pets that how they added this year, it should be somewhat doable. But yeah, again, we will see. No crazy goals. I guess I can go open my bank a bit, even though bank videos are super boring, especially on a main, because every bank is basically the same at a certain point for a main. I think after max gear, it gets very boring. Um, as I said before, I'm just stacking caskets. Goal for masses is 500, obviously, again. 200 elites. Also, I've been having a lot of fun opening these on stream. Just fun chilling with the cloggers and just opening some of these. Yeah, opening every 200 of elites, every 500 hearts. Easy clues I'll get to soon after I get a good triple step again. And yeah, Masters 500 once again. Yeah, I don't I don't know if I want to show too much here. This is basically my teleport tab. As I said before, main banks are I think bank videos are super boring in the first place, I guess, but especially for mains, this is, for example, my loot tab, I guess. This is my fashion and random resource tab. Actually, I do want to record this because I do like looking back at my bank from last year and what I had in there. So I guess it's pretty nice to see the progress here as well. This is, I guess, my skilling tab and I guess a few miscellaneous clue stuff. Got a few imp links down there. This is basically my, I don't know, random PVM item tab, trash tab, I suppose. This is probably my cleanest tab. This is where all my prestige items, I guess, are like dusts and the capes and the pets. It's really nice looking at this increasing slowly, seeing all the pets that I've got this year. Yeah, this is just a gear tab. I don't think anything changed here this year. I guess the Rollos and the Sana Squiver got added this year, but that's really about it. Oh yeah, and this is my. I, I really hoped I wouldn't have this tab at this point, but this is just the easy clue trash, I guess, which will be sorted out hopefully soon whenever I get back to that. Yeah, this is basically it. I don't think I have. Oh yeah, I actually noted one thing down. I don't have like strict goals, as I said before, but soon we will get the Gilded Clog staff, which you will receive by having 90% of the clog done. And this is something that I want to maintain. It should be fairly easy at this point. But yeah, like maybe I'll get to 1500 clocks. I guess it depends what they add this coming year, because last year or this year we received 73 clocks, which I actually all completed. So if they add about the same amount of clocks and nothing crazy comes to the game, I should be able to get to 1500. So that will definitely be nice. Yeah, other than that, just as I said last year, playing the game, having fun, learning a lot of things, especially since I joined, or since I guess we started log chases in July. I've had a lot of fun just sharing like everything with clanmates. So nice having like-minded people around and everyone's just grinding for the same goal, just to complete another section and talk about crazy stuff. Obviously, some super min maxes in there. So, if anyone is a clogger and not already in log chases, what are you doing? First of all, hello. Yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.